You are going to defend. You're getting in that ring. Excuse me, Mr. Silver, you can't make me do something I don't want to do. Danny, Danny, Danny. From the moment you met me, I've been making you do things you don't want to do. What are you talking about? What am I talking about? Yeah, what? Let's show them what I'm talking about. What's up, guys? It is Rob from Movie Review Time. That was my Terry Silver impression from Karate Kid 3. One of my favorite scenes. Anyway, chilling in my room right now. Thought I would make another video. Another ranking video, which was actually requested. I believe it was requested by Chucky from Child's Play 2 Chucky. I believe so. I think he mentioned one time that he wanted me to rank my Karate Kid films, rank them worst to best. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, it's important to note that for this video, I am only going to do the first 4 films, which is the basic series. I am not going to put the remake in here because it's a remake. It is not part of the series. It shouldn't have even been called The Karate Kid because it had nothing really to do about karate. It was more like kung fu. That's what Jackie Chan taught him, was kung fu. Oops. So I'm not even going to mention that film. I did like the film, the remake. I thought it was pretty good. But I'm just going to be talking about the basic 4 films here. And it's probably not hard to guess what my order is going to be because, let's face it, I mean, out of all 4 of these films, there's one that's probably the most hated. And, you know, it's it's really not hard. But I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the 4 Karate Kid films. So let's get started. Worst to best, of course. Coming in at number 4, which is the worst for me, is The Next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank and Pat Morita. The thing about this movie is that it went in a different direction to where, you know, Ralph Macchio wasn't in it, even though he was mentioned. Daniel was mentioned. He's off to college and stuff. He pretty much moved on, and Miyagi basically has to friggin' babysit Hilary Swank. Pretty much. And she's at this school where there's these guy bullies that, you know, they're like hall monitors, and they're freaking like, you know, they're being taught by what's his name, Michael Ironside, and he's like, if you see someone drop a wrapper, you make them pick it up and eat it. Oh, Michael Ironside, I love you, but man, what the hell? This instructor guy is teaching these hall monitors to be mean and show no mercy. They're trying to make him act like Kreese from the first movie, and it just doesn't work. Okay, these guys are picking on Hilary Swank and pushing her and stuff like that. I'm like, look at her, like, leave her alone. Like, honestly, like, picking on a beautiful woman, like, it makes no sense. Like, they forced themselves on her, like pushing her around and bullying her. I'm like, what the hell? And then Hilary Swank has this hawk named Angel that's on the roof of the school that she sneaks into every night to feed her, and because she has a broken wing or some stupid shit like that, she goes up to the top and of the school and like talks to Angel like that's her only friend. I don't know. I like Hilary Swank as an actress, but this movie just went too far. I mean, especially where Miyagi catches an arrow. He goes to this, like, this monk place where there's all these monks, and they shoot an arrow, and he catches an arrow, and I'm like, man, Miyagi's the shit, man. Don't mess with him. He can do anything. And so these monks, you know, they freaking have this way of training, and I mean, the best part is when the monks go bowling. Now, I always mention that. The monks go back to the city where Hilary Swank is, and they go bowling. The ball goes in the gutter, and the monk hurries up, and he goes like this, and he prays. And the ball goes out of the gutter and gets a strike. That should tell you right there that we're dealing with a kid's movie. Because this, I don't know what this is. Like, what? Why was that scene in this? Like, oh, let's try to be a fucking like family comedy or just let's have fun with this. It's nothing like the other ones. Is it supposed to be lighthearted just because we got a girl as the main lead or something? Like, I just don't understand it. And then you got the famous end kick where Hilary Swank does this kick to the guy's face, and it doesn't even connect because of the way the camera is and the position of the camera. You can tell. Pause it. Pause it when she does that last kick. They do certain angles, and you can tell it doesn't even connect. It's like right here, and there's a huge gap between her foot and his face. Don't believe me? Go look. It is so noticeable. And Miyagi moves so slow that he should be, you know, when he's fighting in this movie, like they made him, I know he gets older, he's getting older, he's an older man, but God, it's like he moves so slow he belongs in a nursing home. Like in this movie, he gets in a couple of fights and I'm like, oh God, come on. Like I love Miyagi and all that stuff, but man, they really, I don't like the way they portrayed him in this movie. I really don't. And then he teaches Hilary Swank how to do certain types of karate by doing, you know, like a dance and make it into a karate lesson, like he did with Daniel. We taught him how to wash cars, or he washed cars and paint the fence stuff, and he made it into a karate lesson. And that's what he does with her. So that was fine. I mean, that's paying homage to the originals. This movie just did not work for me in a lot of ways. So that comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, Karate Kid Part 3. I don't understand the hate for this film. I love this film. I don't understand it. My 3 favorites are 1, 2, and 3. I consider Karate Kid as a trilogy. The Karate Kid series is a trilogy, ignoring Part 4, even though it's part of the series. This is awesome. This is an awesome movie. My favorite fight scene is in this movie when Miyagi takes on Kreese, Terry Silver, and Mike Barnes all at once. Come on, little man. Let's see how good you really are. Terry Silver was over the top. He was an over-the-top villain. He says whatever's on his mind. He laughs like the Joker. I don't care. It worked. Okay? Kreese was more grounded as a character, but Terry Silver was he went overboard, but that's what made him awesome. I mean, I love him. I love Terry Silver. Mike Barnes, he was kind of a weaker villain. He was more intimidating than anything because he always yelled. He was always like the bully that just got in your face and started yelling. He was very aggressive. He was more aggressive than Chosen or Johnny, even for that. But his fighting methods were crap. I think his fighting methods, I mean, if Mike Barnes got in a fight with Chosen, I think Chosen could beat him. If Mike Barnes got in a fight with Johnny Lawrence, I think Johnny would have beat him. And he has the same teacher. But Mike Barnes, he was more aggressive than anything. That's what made him different. I mean, it had kind of a lame third act where Daniel only had to fight one match at the karate tournament, and he had to fight Mike Barnes. So they kind of did away with all that. I didn't like the girl relationship in this. It's like he was in the friend zone with this girl named Jessica that he meets. That was kind of lame. You know, minus a few lame things. I think this altogether, though, was a very fun movie. I like the emotional back and forth with Pat Morita and Ralph Macchio, with Daniel and Miyagi. I like the back and forth, like they're constantly arguing and Miyagi won't train him, so he's getting Daniel's getting frustrated. He gets trained by Terry Silver, learns these new aggressive ways of training. I like that whole thing. It really brought some depth to the characters that we've never seen before. But I like Karate Kid 3, and there's a lot of callbacks to the first movie because you got, I don't remember her name, but the actress who played Daniel's mom in the first movie, she comes back for a couple of scenes in this film. And it was nice to see her because she was in the first movie. And the second movie takes place all in Okinawa, so you don't ever get to see hardly anything. But you go back to the original apartments. You get to see a lot of the original stuff, like the dojo and all that. Just, I like this movie a lot. I thought it was really good. So that's number 3 for me. Coming in at number 2, of course, is Karate Kid Part 2. This has an amazing score. I mean, all the Karate Kid films have great music, like by Bill Conti. I think Bill Conti did the third movie. Yes, he did the third movie. Anyway, Karate Kid Part 2 is basically Miyagi's movie, because the first movie was Daniel's movie. This movie is Miyagi's movie. You get to learn a lot about his heritage. You get to learn about like his father who's sick, his old girlfriend, his old best friend. You know, they go to him and Daniel go to Okinawa because his father's sick, and they run into, you know, he runs into his old friend. His old friend has a grudge with him after all these years, and he wants to fight him. And then, of course, his friend has he has pretty much a, I want to say, apprentice. He basically has a kid he's training called Chosen, and so it's like teacher versus teacher, and then student versus student. So Daniel versus Chosen, Sato versus Miyagi, which is kind of cool. The disappointing thing about this movie, I wish we could have seen a fight between Miyagi and Sato, because they build it up. They build it up in this movie between these two. How they were best friends, and they were both taught by Miyagi's father. And we already know how badass Miyagi is. I mean, we already know that. But to see Sato, I would love to see Sato and him fight it out. And something happens where they were interrupted and they had to work together, which they do in this movie. They hate each other through the film. And then the tsunami hits and destroys the village, and they pretty much have to work together to save people. And then Sato realizes that he has to put their differences aside and basically try to get along. Chosen, however, doesn't. He acts like a big crybaby, runs out into the tsunami or into the storm. He's like, I cannot help him. I cannot. I like Chosen. I thought he was a great character, and he was very knowledgeable with karate. And in Okinawa, they don't fight for trophies, they fight to the death. And they make that clear in this movie, is that they don't take any crap, man. If you piss somebody off and you dishonor them, you are going to fight to the death. You could be dead, you know. But that's the whole movie, is that they're in Okinawa, and you get to learn a lot about what Miyagi does. I liked it. There's a lot of story. It has an amazing third act fight between Daniel and Chosen. What I like about that fight is it's quiet. There's like no music playing during that whole fight. Him and Daniel are fighting. All you can hear is punches and them getting kicked, and they both get mauled bad. Like, they're pretty much fighting to the death. And then the music starts up. And then, you know, there's a new technique in like every film, right? The third film, it was kata. It was like a certain way of like a breathing exercise, but learning kata. This movie was the drum technique. They learned how to do side to side like a drum technique thing. The first movie was the crane kick, and the crane kick worked at Johnny. In this movie, he tries the crane kick against Chosen and fails. And here's the thing, I'm glad it did, because the crane kick was I think it was an overrated move. It would never really work. And Chosen was, you know, he was taught by the same, he was taught the same way. So he would know, if Daniel was doing some kind of crane kick or something, he would know that move. He would know how to counter it. Plus, Daniel probably didn't do it at the right time. Miyagi says, if do right, no can defend. Well, that's wrong. Either Daniel didn't do it right, or Miyagi's wrong. Okay? Because Chosen did catch his foot. There's just so many cool things about this. They do the love interest between Daniel and Kumiko, which worked. I thought it worked, but it sucked that, you know, Kumiko couldn't be in the third film. I used to have a crush on her when I first watched this, but it's got that #1 hit song by Peter Cetera called "Glory of Love," which is a fantastic song. You know, when they're running to the castle, they play that song. But this is a great movie. It really is great. There's a lot of heart, a lot of depth with the characters. Just really, really cool. So that comes in at #2, and of course, #1 is the all-time classic, The Karate Kid. And I can relate to this movie because I was bullied in school, not to this extent to where people knew karate, but people who would run their mouth. And you know, I was very skinny in school, like really skinny. People called me chicken legs or slim. And you know, I kind of got used to it after a while. I just didn't really think anything of it. Now if I probably saw one of those guys, I'd probably walk up to him and try to kick his ass. But I would love to, actually. You know what you did to me? No, no, I wouldn't. Honestly, what we did so many years ago, you know, you just got to move on. You know what you did? But Daniel gets picked on in this movie. You know, he moves to California and falls in love with this girl, Elizabeth Shue, who plays Allie, and finds out that she's a rich chick, pretty much, and all these dudes ride motorcycles and have nice cars and things like that, and Johnny pretty much used to go out with her, and she pretty much broke up with him, and then Daniel gets in the mix, and then Johnny all of a sudden has a problem with Daniel. Hey, don't touch it, punk! What are you, deaf? Hey man, what's going on? You want it? You got it! Really, really a great film. I grew up with this film, loved it, and you know, the scene where he's running from the bullies from the high school, and then Miyagi pretty much kicks every one of their asses. One of the greatest fights. I love that fight. And then Miyagi, of course, takes Daniel under his wing and teaches him karate. Then you have Kreese in this movie, who teaches Johnny Lawrence and the rest of the guys. And they make a deal to fight in the All Valley tournament at the end. So there's this build-up of, you know, Daniel's going to come face to face with his fears. He's going to come face to face with Johnny at the end of the film. He's going to learn karate. He's going to meet him on the mat. He's going to, you know, he's going to face it, which was really, really cool, because my dad always taught me to face. He always taught me to face bullies. He said, never start anything, but he says, if you have to end it, end it. That's what he always told me. He's like, never throw the first punch, never start anything, but if you have to end it, end it. And I remember one day at school, I stood up to this bully he was always running his mouth, and he didn't do a damn thing to me. Yeah, I stood up to him face to face, and he backed off. And the cool thing is, I was pretty tall in school, so it's like, I think being tall kind of, I want to say it prevented me from getting my butt kicked a lot. You know, even as a freshman in high school, I don't think people knew I was a freshman because I was so tall. I could have passed as one of the juniors or seniors, honestly. I think I was saved by me being tall. I mean, I'm 6'6". And so, in school, I think I had that going for me a lot better than just being short. But the kids make fun of you no matter what. If you're too tall, if you're too short, if you're too fat, whatever. They make fun of you for anything. And I want to snap their necks. Not really. But you know what? My kids are going to have to go through that, and I'm going to hate that. I'm going to hate to see them have to go through bullying and stuff like that. It just makes me so mad. That's life. That's what all the people say. Anyway, John G. Avildsen, he's, you know, such a great job with this movie. Epic third act with the famous crane kick. And, you know, what I like about this, it ends and then the second one starts up. The second movie literally starts minutes after this one ends. So it's like you watch these two movies, it's like watching one big film. Or even the third one. The third one, they come back from Okinawa. They get off the plane. So it's like you watch all three films together, you're watching one big film. Honestly. My number one is The Karate Kid. So there you go. There's The Karate Kid's ranked worst to best. Let me know in the comments what your worst to best is. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.